Question 1. What is the difference between a Verilog task and a Verilog function? Answer. The following rules distinguish tasks from functions. A function shall execute in one simulation time unit. A task can contain time-controlling statements. A function cannot enable a task can enable other tasks or functions. A function shall have at least one input type argument and shall not have an output or input type argument. A task can have 0 or more arguments of any type. A function shall return a single value. A task shall not return a value. Question 2. Explain the differences between direct mapped, fully associative, and set associative caches. Answer. If each block has only one place it can appear in the cache is said to be direct mapped. The mapping is usually block frame address, modulo, number of blocks in cache. If a block can be placed anywhere in the cache is said to be fully associative. If a block can be placed in a restricted set of places in the cache is said to be set associative. A set is a group of 2 or more blocks in the cache. A block is first mapped onto a set, and then the block can be placed anywhere within the set. The set is usually chosen by bit selection, that is, block frame address, modulo, number of sets in cache. If there are n blocks in a set, the cache placement is called n-way set associative. Question 3. What is electric traction? Answer. Electric traction means using the electric power for traction system, i.e. for railways, trams, trolleys, etc. Electric traction means use of the electricity for railways, trams, trolleys, etc. Nowadays, magnetic traction is also used for bullet trains. And basically DC motors are used for electric traction systems. Question 4. How can you start up the 40W tube light with 230 VAC DC without using any choke coil? Answer. It's possible by means of electronic chokes, otherwise it's not possible to ionize the particles in tube light with normal voltage. Question 5. What is PU in electrical engineering? Answer. PU stands for per unit, and this will be used in single line diagram of power distribution, and it is like a huge electrical circuit with no of components, generators, transformers, loads, with different ratings, in MVA and kV. To bring all the ratings into common platform we use PU concept, in which, in general, largest MVA and kV ratings of the component is considered as base values, then all other component ratings will get back into this basis. Those values are called as PU values. Question 6. Operation carried out in thermal power stations. Answer. The water is obtained in the boiler and the coal is burnt so that steam is obtained. This steam is allowed to hit the turbine which is coupled with the generator generates the electricity. Question 7. Why link is provided in neutral of an ACC circuit and fuse in phase of ACC circuit? Answer. Link is provided at a neutral common point in the circuit from which various connections are taken for the individual control circuit, and so it is given in a link form to withstand high amps. But in the case of fuse in the phase of AC circuit, it is designed such that the fuse rating is calculated for the particular circuit, i.e. load, only. So if any malfunction happen, the fuse connected in the particular control circuit alone will blow off. Question 8. How tube light circuit is connected and how it works? Answer. A choke is connected in one end of the tube light and a starter is in series with the circuit. When supply is provided, the starter will interrupt the supply cycle of AC. Due to the sudden change of supply, the choke will generate around 1000 volts. This volt will capable of to break the electrons inside the tube to make electron flow. Once the current passes through the tube, the starter circuit will be out of part. Now there is no change of supply causes choke voltage normalized and act as minimize the current. Question 9. What is Mark's circuit? Answer. It is used with generators for charging a number of capacitor in parallel and discharging them in series. It is used when voltage required for testing is higher than the available. Question 10. What is encoder, how it function? Answer. An encoder is a device used to change a signal, such as a bit stream, or data into a code. The code may serve any of a number of purposes such as compressing information for transmission or storage, encrypting or adding redundancies to the input code, or translating from one code to another. This is usually done by means of a programmed algorithm, especially if any part is digital, while most analog encoding is done with analog circuitry. Question 11. What are the advantages of speed control using thyristor? Answer. Advantages. Fast switching characteristics than MOSFET, BJT, IGBT. Low cost. Higher accurate. Question 12. Why human body feel electric shock? And in an electric train during running, we did NT feel any shock. Why? Answer. Unfortunately, our body is a pretty good conductor of electricity. The golden rule is current takes the lowest resistant path if you have insulation to our feet as the circuit is not complete. Wearing rubber footwear which doing some repairs is advisable as our footwear is a high resistance path, not much current flows through our body. The electric train is well insulated from its electrical system. Question 13. What is the principle of motor? Answer. Whenever a current-carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it produces turning or twisting movement is called as torque. Question 14. Why, when birds sit on transmission lines or current wires, doesn't get shock? Answer. It's true that if birds touch the single one line, phase or neutral, they don't get electrical shock. If birds touch two lines, then the circuit is closed and they get electrical shock. So if a human touch single one line phase, then he doesn't get shock if he is in the air, not touching, standing on the ground. If he is standing on the ground then touching the line phase, he will get a shock because the ground on what we standing is like line, ground bed, like neutral. And in the most of electric lines the neutral is grounded, so that means that human who touch the line closes the circuit between phase and neutral. Question 15. What is meant by armature reaction? Answer. The effect of armature flow to main flux is called armature reaction. The armature flux may support main flux or opposes main flux. Question 16. What happen if we give 220 volts DC supply to D bulb or tube light? Answer. Bulbs devices for AC are designed to operate such that it offers high impedance to AC supply. Normally they have low resistance. When DC supply is applied, due to low resistance, the current through lamp would be so high that it may damage the bulb element. Question 17. Which motor has high starting torque and steering current? DC motor, induction motor or synchronous motor? Answer. DC series motor has high starting torque. We cannot start the induction motor and synchronous motors on load, but cannot start the DC series motor without load. Question 18. What is ACSR cable and where we use it? Answer. ACSR means aluminum conductor steel reinforced. This conductor is used in transmission and distribution. Question 19. What is vacuum circuit breaker? Define with cause and where be use it device. Answer. A breaker is normally used to break a circuit. While breaking the circuit, the contact terminals will be separated. At the time of separation, an air gap is formed in between the terminals. Due to existing current flow, the air in the gap is ionized and results in the arc. Various mediums are used to quench this arc in respective CBs. But in VCB the medium is vacuum gas. Since the air in the CB is having vacuum pressure, the arc formation is interrupted. VCBs can be used up to kV. Question 20. What will happen when power factor is leading in distribution of power? Answer. If there is high power factor, i.e. if the power factor is close to 1, losses in form of heat will be reduced. Cable becomes less bulky and easy to carry, and very cheap to afford, and it also reduces overheating of transformers.